I wanted to go over the transformational tattooing method. This is what makes our training mentorship mastermind so unique to our company. It's something that I've been working on the past 6 months, and it's what I call the transformational tattooing method. So a lot of us got into the industry of camouflage tattooing because we all wanted to help people and we all wanted to provide life-changing transformations. And in order to do that, there's a few components that really make up what I would call the true transformational tattooing method, in which we do with our camouflage tattooing. And so that's what this presentation is going to dive into, is our methodology of how we tattoo, how we train our students to tattoo and build their businesses, so that way they really own in on their life purpose and also transform the lives of those that they serve. All right, so who am I? So my name is Jade Hernandez and I'm a business owner. I am a serial entrepreneur. Studio Conceal was not the first business that I've created, but I have learned a lot through all the businesses that I have started. Not all of them have been success. I think sometimes our greatest lessons come from those things that fail. I'm also a mother and a wife, and I would say I'm an educator, mentor. I also have my own podcast called Beauty Expanded. That's on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, where we talk about business development, and I really just help shift people's perspective when it comes to selling, marketing, business development, making mistakes, all of the things that you're going to encounter being in this industry. And I am an artist such as yourself. Before we begin today's presentation, just a quick note, some house cleaning. What we offer is a mentorship. In a mentorship, I may not give you all the answers. I'm an experiential teacher, and so I teach from my own experiences, and that's what I'm going to be empowering you to do as well. I can help guide you. I can help teach you from some of the mistakes that I've learned. So hopefully you don't make the same mistakes, but it's almost guaranteed in this industry, you are going to make some mistakes. So you must try on your own first and trust yourself. A lot of what we do being entrepreneurs is personal development. I feel like entrepreneurship is always the fast track to personal development, because when you start a business, any business, even if you've been doing this for a while, you will always be confronted by your own self-doubts, insecurities, things that you're self-conscious about, some old limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. All of those things are going to be coming and surfacing up towards the top as you begin your new career in any field, and camouflage tattooing is definitely something that will challenge you to grow in the best of ways. I always let students know, if you're a perfectionist, stepping into the camouflage tattooing world is going to challenge you in the best of ways, because the canvas in which you're working on isn't even perfect, and it's really going to help broaden and expand that limiting belief, and hopefully get you to the point where you can be accepting and kind of lean in to mistakes and compromised skin and things that don't necessarily work out in the way that you thought it was. Tattooing in itself is not a science. This is an art, and the reason why it's not a science is because you will always be dealing with people's skin, their genetic disposition, which is unique to them, their own DNA, and that will always yield variables and healed results. And again, this is not something that's going to be a straight formula. I do not have all the answers for you, but what I can teach you is from my own experiences, from my own mistakes, so that way you can step into your power, and when you do make a mistake, you'll know how to navigate that and actually come out stronger because of that. So a mentorship / mastermind is a collaborative effort on both, not only the instructor, but also the students and the peers. And you guys would all become colleagues in this industry. Okay. So with that being said, there is a difference between attaining knowledge versus knowing something. So I always like to give the illustration of a bike, right? You can read how to learn a bike, you can do the step-by-step guide, but it's not until, so you can basically attain all the knowledge, read all the books, do trainings, webinars, everything on how to ride a bike. but it's not until you actually sit on that bike and then begin to implement everything that you learned do you begin to truly understand and know how to ride a bike, right? So it's like reading everything and then actually sitting on that bike and then learning how to balance, keeping your eyes ahead, on the road, pedaling, steering, navigating, all of that. Taking that action then helps you to begin to really understand, and that's where the knowing really takes place. So in tattooing and in camouflage tattooing, I can give you all the information, but it's not until you actually start implementing that information do you begin to really understand the art behind what it is that you're doing. Not until you actually start working on real live skin, do you begin to understand depth? Do you begin to understand how your tattoo pen works, how people heal? And the cool thing, even though it's challenging and sometimes scary, is that not every person is the same. And so kind of going back to what we talked about every person's genetic disposition being different is the same thing. The person that you work on today, let's say you work on her thighs, you could be working on someone else's thigh literally within 24 hours and it will be a completely different experience. And so that is truly how you become a master of your craft, is you have to implement, and that's how you begin to really know your craft instead of just taking information and taking all the knowledge but not actually applying it and doing anything with it. So that's what I'm here to do, is to help guide you and kind of, gently push you off that ledge, so that way the growing and the learning really takes precedence in your life. So real quick, before we go any further, our mastermind and our training program is definitely not for everyone. You'll know, and you can, no hard feelings. You can literally log off of this. This is not, so our training program and mentorship is not for someone who's looking to just get a quick fix. This is not for someone that just wants to, wants the formulas, wants all the answers without doing any of the work, which I think I explained in our last slide about the riding the bike. This is definitely not someone who wants to get into camouflage tattooing because someone else made it look like you can make 6 figures instantly and easily, and I don't know, as short as 30 days. If you're doing this for the money versus the healing aspect and the potential to help people, this is not the training for you. There are other trainers out there who, require way less, a fraction of what, we're requesting for an investment. And if you're looking for that quick fix, if you're going into this for the money, by all means, you are not going to like our training. And there, you can definitely get trained and certified in camouflage tattooing for way less than what we're, having you guys invest in. This is also not for someone who is not committed to learn, and this is not for someone who is not coachable. So if you're not coming in here with an open mind and the humbleness to learn and be coachable, if you feel like you've been at this for a while and you have all the answers, you're not going to like our training either. This is not for you. And this is definitely not for the artist who's not committed to being responsible for their own growth and their business, which means that if you're not going to be responsible for the mistakes that you are inevitably going to make, then this isn't going to be a great industry for you, and you're actually going to be doing a lot of harm to people more so than good. And then with that being said, this is definitely not for someone who's not interested in truly connecting with people, who's not comfortable with emotional intimacy, who's not comfortable with even knowing who they are, or even has the willingness to learn who they are on a deeper aspect. This is not the type of training mentorship for you either, because we believe that 80% of what we do to really provide that life-changing transformation for our clients, a lot of that is more heavily focused on emotional healing rather than just the physical, which is just taking care of the stretch mark and scar and covering it. So if you got into this industry because you wanted to make life-changing results and life transformations for other people, you will have to be comfortable with intimacy and be emotionally aware of your clients being vulnerable and feeling exposed. But in order for them to truly bridge that transformation and to fully, expand upon that and to experience that, there's going to be a deeper connection and space that you're going to be providing for your clients, and we're going to teach you how to do that. But if that's really not your thing, then this training isn't for you either. Okay. So hopefully if you're still listening, it's because you believe that this is for you. And so we're going to just move along because we're happy to have you here. Okay. So this is what I would say 80% of camouflage tattooists probably can relate to, feeling like they're winging it. So this training, this mentorship, everything is for you if you feel like you are the winging it artist, which means that half of the times, 50% or more of all your client sessions, you feel like you are literally winging it. So more specifically, if you can relate to this, I'm going to just have you guys type in yes, yes, yes. So if you can relate to, so I'm assuming that, for those of you who have been trained and certified for 6 months or more and still find yourself not having taken your first official client because you don't feel confident enough in the skills that you've learned, and therefore you're afraid of messing up, which again is limiting you and blocking you and kind of getting you hesitant into landing your first client. So you've been trained on this for 6 months or more, and you still haven't taken your first official client because you don't feel confident in the skills that you've learned. Therefore, you don't want to make any mistakes on your clients. Type in yes on the chat or in the chat if you feel like that's you. Okay, so we got a couple of yeses. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Yep. Or maybe you're the winging it artist who has been working on a few clients. So maybe you have, you're trained, you're certified, you've taken on a few clients, but for whatever reason, the color that you're matching is still healing kind of orange, pinkish, it's off, maybe it's too dark, maybe they're taking 6 months plus to heal, and you don't know why, and you don't know how to fix it. So not only do you not know why that's happening, but you also don't know how to fix it. Type yes in the chat if you can relate to that. Yeah, so this is like overwhelmingly yes. Or maybe you're the winging it artist where you've been at this for a year, a year or more, and for whatever reason, you're not making the cut. So financially, you're still not making a profit. And I would even bet to say that you have either started or you've invested in other services to add on to your menu of services because this isn't making the financial cut that you thought it was going to be. So you're probably learning how to do body sculpting, adding brows, adding lip blushing, eyeliner, tiny tattoos, because this isn't financially making the income and the impact you had hoped it would do. Okay, so we're definitely getting some yeses on that. Or last, I would say you're the winging it artist if your business is steady, but you find yourself falling short, even emotionally, so you're like wavering your passion from providing the life-changing transformations you had anticipated you would make the first time you discovered camouflage tattooing. So your business is growing, but for whatever reason, there's just something kind of falling flat. Your passion's wavering. You're not making those life-changing transformations that you thought you were going to be doing, when you first stepped into this industry. And that's what, where some of that emotional intimacy that so many people skip, because I get it, because you have other things to focus on in your business. But that's a huge, huge key component to really connecting with your clients and giving them the space and basically cultivating that bridge that they can walk through for their full transformation. So now we've talked about, and which we can all, everyone here can identify a feeling like they're winging it most of the times. So the goal is, through our mentorship and through our training program, we're going to take you from winging it, so the winging it artist, to the confident artist. So the confident artist is someone who truly finds passion and purpose in her craft and to those that she connects with. So she's fully connected to her clients, and her clients connect with her. She may not have all the answers, because remember, this isn't an exact science. So she may not have all the answers, but she has a pretty solid foundation and a starting point that gives her a pretty good game plan strategy for every scar, stretch mark, and skin condition that she encounters. So remember, not every client is the same, and you're going to be faced with so many challenges, so many different circumstances, vitiligo, burn scars, stretch marks, hypopigmented scars, all of the above. And you may not have all the answers, but you have a good starting point, a good solid foundation of the fundamentals of tattooing, that at least you know where to start, and you feel confident in that. The confident artist also is growing her business. She really believes and feels that she is making income, but also impact. And she has a collective group of mentors that she can call and that she trusts to help her navigate through a variety of topics, challenges, and they're helping her troubleshoot, whether that's even just business development, how to land more clients, how to do this, how to talk about that, sales, tattooing techniques, how do you address this, has this ever happened to you, and how she can better relate to her clients. So a confident artist has a group of peers, a group of mentors that she learns from, who can help collaborate with her and help accelerate the growth of her business, because she's learning from their experiences, and their experiences could be an accumulation of 25 plus years. And she could only be doing this, I don't know, for three years, let's say. But she gets to attain all that knowledge that those 25 years of experiences has given to another artist, and she's able to capture that immediately. And those are the type of mentors that are helping her support her and encourage her in her business. Because I think a lot of you guys can probably relate to feeling like this industry is very secretive, right? Not everyone openly shares what they're doing, what needles they're using, how they're custom blending inks, what inks they're using, what brands they're using. And that can feel very lonely, especially when you're troubleshooting and confronting so many different case studies. And that can feel really scary, being alone. And so a confident artist, has people that she calls and she trusts and that she doesn't feel in competition with. Super important. So all of this, in turn, makes her not only a confident camouflage tattoo artist, but a competent one. Someone who has a variety of modalities, knowledge, and experience under her belt, to be truly an intentional artist who's deeply connected to her craft and those she serves. Does that sound amazing? Is that how you would like to show up in your business every day? Yeah. So getting lots of yeses, because there's a lot of ease in that, right? And there's enjoyment in that. And it is possible. Okay, moving along. So I believe there's 3 key elements that cultivate that confidence. The 3 elements are competence, conversion, and connection. Competence, conversion, and connection. Those are the 3 key elements that then exude that confidence within yourself and in your art form. So let's dig in a little bit. So these are the 3 pillars that we talked about: competence, connection, and conversion. And I believe all of these three things need to come together for you to feel like that confident artist that we talked about. So all of these 3 things need to come together. And now some of you guys listening today may have been working really hard and may have even experienced success in 1 or 2 of these things, but you probably don't have all 3. So for example, Maybe you've studied under several artists. You've done a ton of continuing education. You've done a ton of trainings. And you've been in this field for over a year now. You've taken on clients, you've worked on skin, you're building your portfolio. Everything is accelerating at a really great rate for you. You have a general idea on how to approach each client. And maybe you even have the connection part. You have a few peers. So we have the competence part, which is the continuing education for different scar, stretch mark, and camouflage modalities. The connection part is a deeper connection leads to growth and healing, and conversion is learning how to increase income and impact in your business. So that all, again, let me just back up, those three elements coming together is what creates the confident artist. So again, maybe you have the competence, you've done enough trainings, you've been in the field, your portfolio is growing, and you also have the connection piece. You have a few peers that you can trust, that you can call up for support or troubleshooting. But if you don't have conversion, you're probably still financially struggling, making ends meet, and you're probably wondering, can I make this business work? Can I make it past the 3 to 5 year mark, right? So you've been in this for about a year, but can you really sustain this for 3 to 5 years from now? Or maybe, again, you have the competence and the connection, but you're still breaking even. And that's okay, right? You're just making your ends meet, but you're not necessarily making a ton of profit after you've paid all the bills. Your studio lease, your equipment, your marketing, your ads. And can you really sustain that long term? I can pretty much bet that deep down, if you can relate to this, you have two pillars, but you're missing the conversion. So I can pretty much bet that deep down, you know that you can do better. You know you do good work and you can help more people, but you're just really struggling with closing the sale. You're really struggling with the selling aspect of your business, whether you find it kind of, slimy, it feels kind of weird, or you just really don't know how to close the sale, or you just keep lowering your prices because you have this limiting belief that you can't really charge for what you really like to charge. And so again, you're doing a ton of volume, but you're just being able to meet the bare minimum. You don't know how to scale your business. So I would say you don't know how to scale your business if you're lacking conversion. You're not hitting the income goals that you've set year after year. And like I said, I'm even willing to bet you're relying on discounting your services every month to draw in more clients than you do on attracting them on your own. If you can relate to that, you're missing the missing element of conversion. And I think you guys can all understand why that part is really key in sustaining your business and also feeling confident in what you're worth and being able to value the value that you give so that you can charge the prices that you want. Make sense? Okay. All right, so moving along. So maybe, so that's why that pillar number 3 is really important, that conversion. So maybe you're an artist that also feels pretty confident in camouflage tattooing. Maybe you've been in the business for 3 to 4 years. You have a really extensive portfolio of before and afters. You're one of the OGs. I would say I'm considered one of the OGs. You probably have learned a lot through trial and error. Your business is steady and consistent. You're probably making 6 figures a year, yet you find yourself, so I would say you have the competence and the conversion. So you're making money, you know what the heck you're doing, but you do find yourself missing this element, the connection piece, which is you find yourself wavering in passion at times because, as they say, it gets lonely at the top. I can bet you feel the industry is more secretive than it is supportive. There's not many people you can call up for advice or to theorize, as I say, and it can still feel like you're alone in the wild, wild west. The other issue may be that you're wavering in passion for what you do because you set out your business with these big hopes and dreams to completely transform the lives of so many people who struggle with their scars, their stretch marks, hair loss, etc. And in reality, you're not getting the full transformation you had aspired to have. Your clients are getting their services done. They're getting results, but they're not like raving about it. Maybe it's hard getting them to get reviews and the testimonials, and you're not seeing the spark in them. And because of that, you're beginning to waver in your passion. Are you really doing good work? Is this really worth it? All the hours, the investments that you've, spent on trainings and stuff like that. Like, is it really all connecting or is it not? And so that's the pillar that I would say you're missing is the connection part, is learning how to bridge a deeper connection that leads to growth, not only for your own personal growth, but for the healing and growth of your clients. And so for those of you that don't know me, have never heard of me, have never even listened to my podcast, I do get woo-woo, I'll admit. I consider myself definitely a spiritual person. And so we will literally bring in guest speakers who talk about energy, who talk about the law of attraction, manifestation, because I truly believe in order to give your clients, to extend upon them and give them the space for their full transformation, you have to be comfortable with intimacy. And a lot of us are so disconnected to ourselves. I mean, I would say most of us are our own worst self-critics. And if you're a perfectionist, same thing, that's a huge disconnection. And that is also what's causing a block from you truly connecting with your clients to basically show them the bridge for their own healing. So super important. Or maybe you're the type of person who has a few friends and peers in the industry. So you are connected to people. You are, getting clients. You're getting people DMing you, asking for consultations. But you don't have the competence part. You are still not getting the greatest healed results. Your clients are coming back, taking way too long to heal. Or your clients are coming back either, most likely healing with orange results, kind of that salmon pink color, they're healing too warm, or you're not getting the pigment retention that you had hoped. You aren't very familiar with needle configurations. You're kind of just stuck using the one needle, which is, I'm guessing, the 7 Magnum shader on all your clients without realizing that you got to learn how to read the biofeedback, and every person is so unique. And so you don't understand or have a solid grasp on how to fix some of the things that are getting you those poor results, and so healed results. And so you really need, or what you're lacking is the continuing education to give you, to expand upon what you already know, to give you different modalities on how to work with different scar types, tissue, skin, and if for some reason the pigment isn't retaining, what you can do on their touch-up to ensure that that ink can stay in there. And there's different techniques that we cover in the competence aspect of our pillar, which is the competence part. So as you guys can see, these are the 3 pillars that make up our training program and our mentorship. Is we dive deep into the competence aspect of it. So we continuing education, bringing in guest speakers who share their zone of genius, the connection pieces to help you bridge a deeper connection in what you do, but also bridge a deeper connection with your clients. And then also the conversion aspect of it, which is I love. I'm really passionate about the marketing and the sales aspect of the business, because I believe that you don't have to work like a social worker in the sense that you do really good work for very low pay. I think you can have both. You can make great income in this business while also making huge impacts in other people's lives. And so that's what makes our transformational tattooing method and our camouflage tattoo training so different from everyone else. When you train with me in person, you're learning the information and part of the implementation, but really this is a relationship that we begin to build, because when you leave my studio and you start troubleshooting and meeting clients and feeling and seeing so many different scar types, that's truly where everything comes together, and we're here to support you in a monthly manner of coaching calls, so that way our support and encouragement helps you build your career in this field. So what does our monthly mentorship include? So it includes the 3 elements to success. So that's pretty much the 3 pillars that we talked about. And those are strategy sessions every month. So sometimes we're going to be doing business development, sometimes marketing, sometimes more of the connection, woo-woo spiritual stuff. And then sometimes it's literally more of the practical application to get you better healed results. So that way your clients are raving about you. The monthly mentorship also includes 2 live coaching calls on a monthly basis, live in the sense that you get to interact with me. There's always going to be some sort of subject that we cover, and then there's a Q&A where you can literally get a hot seat with me, tell me what's going on, and we can troubleshoot together so you're not doing this alone. I also love bringing in expert guest speakers. So you're not just learning from me, you're learning from other people who are masters at their craft. You get access to a private Facebook group with other peers in the industry who also are very much like you, are coachable, want to learn, and want to do good work. And it's really great to learn with others. And sometimes, other people have different businesses and different ways of running their business. So I love that networking aspect of it so that you can truly connect with each other. And then, of course, the continuing education, which, is part of the live coaching calls, color theory, sales, marketing. You'll get access to our previous live recorded calls that I find most valuable from the beta launch that I did, or that I'm currently in. And so you'll get access to, immediately start implementing some knowledge, starting out the minute that you get access to the mentorship. So that's what our monthly mentorship includes. And then if you are interested, this sounds great. You're like, Jade, this sounds great. You're the person for me. These are the different ways that you can work with me. So it's more of an ascension model. So you'll see that it kind of goes up. So 1, let's just say you're not ready yet to dive right into learning how to camouflage tattoo. You're still just gathering information, still doing your research. You can work with me by listening to my podcast. It's completely free. Get a feel for who I am as an educator, and get some really great advice on how I think about things, my own theories. And so you, again, can listen to that. It's called Beauty Expanded, and it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of the podcast streams out there. You can also invest in our ebook, which is directly on our website, studioconceal.com, where you can buy an ebook, which is a really simple guide or map to becoming a camouflage tattoo artist. Just a really simple introduction into this industry, just so you can at least navigate on what to look for in a trainer, whether it's with us or someone else. You have a good guideline to what to look for, so that way you feel confident in where you're going to be investing your money in. But also just all the different ways that camouflage tattooing, like so many different aspects of what we do, and a behind the scenes look on a typical day. So that ebook is, I believe, $49. So you can purchase that on the website. The other way that you can work with us is to join our monthly mastermind. So you can join our monthly mastermind, and I would say this is level 1. This is where I'm still giving you information, hopefully help filling in the gaps from your own training. So whoever you trained with, we are helping to fill in those gaps, shifting your perspective, giving you some really great business development skills, sales, some of the things that have really worked well in growing our business. We cover color theory, some continuing education as well. But this is, again, just level 1. You don't get the full implementation. You don't get that live support in the sense of, working with me. Like, the one thing that's cool about my in-person trainings is literally just the simplest things of how you hold your tattoo pin. When you're with me live in the flesh, I can literally position my hand differently, tweak your hand, so that way you're tattooing correctly, or in the correct manner, which is something that you can't necessarily get online, even if it is live. So again, this is level 1. You're going to get a lot more information to help fill in the gaps. But if you need more, and you really need me to literally shadow you and to help pivot, and switch things up for you so that you do become a better artist immediately, like instantaneously, because you're literally here next to me. You can train with us, and the investment for that is $8,000. It's a 5-day in-person training, and you automatically get included to a year-long mentorship with us, which is that mastermind. And then if you're like, Jade, this all sounds great, we do also offer only two clients a year, which is a one-on-one coaching aspect, which not only do you train with us in person, but this is more of a do for you option, which is we help you with everything, and you do monthly one-on-one coaching calls with me on top of being able to participate in the monthly mastermind as well as train with us in person. But this is where we can like deep dive, give you all our contacts, help you build the website, the branding, everything. That is like me being very close to you in the aspect of holding you accountable, and it's just a one-on-one attention on a whole other level. So that is like at the highest tier in which you can work with us. So hopefully that gave you guys a lot more information about why and how our training is so different from everyone else's. But if you have any questions, please feel free to give us, email us, contact us, and let me know. We are very approachable. We try to respond to people as quickly as possible. And so if there's anything else that you need to know, we are happy to hop on a call and get those questions answered for you. But thanks so much for coming on, and